afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Hi, everybody. Come on in the room. Now, anyone who knows me know I know nothing about IG Live, so we're going to make this work. But I'm being joined by a special guest today in conversation. So it should be a lot of fun. Waiting for her to join us now. Let me see if I can get her on. Oh, hi. I think, let's see. How do I get you to join me? It's good to see all of you. Oh, I see you. All right, so I think I need to invite you, or you need to ask to join mine. Oh, requests. Do you see the people helping me out? Send invite. All right, 1 second. Request to join. Oh, here you go. All right, inviting you now. There you are.
No.
Can I tell you? I'm showing my generation. I'm up here like, invite. Do I send an invite? Do I send a smoke screen? What do I need to do? Good morning.
Good morning. Send a bird. Send,
Send of birds into prayer. It's so good to see you.
It's good
So
to see
good.
you
And to
too.
be in conversation. I'm so grateful for Sidra Smith, our sister friend who connected us.
Come on.
Yeah,
Yes.
as you can see, I
That is
stumble
what she
all.
is. She's a great connector, right?
Yeah, she's a great connector. And as
Yes.
you can tell, I stumble all over Instagram Live. But because it's you, I was like, I need to get on here with the people, not only to talk to you about this beautiful film that you're now starring in, but to celebrate you for the long work you've done. That is stunning, that is complex, that is deeply nuanced, that is deeply felt. You are an actor's actor. So I was like, I'm gonna get up here on this IG Live without a haircut, put my hat on, but I'm gonna do it because you're the bomb. So everybody,
I
please welcome
sure do
Aunjanue
appreciate
Ellis.
you. I sure do appreciate it.
All right, so for those who are joining, look, you need no introduction, Aunjanue, but I want to do one because I am always of the opinion that in many ways these, introductions are a way of also honoring what the gifts that you bring to the work that you do, and honoring you. So for those that are joining, Aunjanue Ellis, y'all, has appeared on the stage, and I had to write some of this down because I want to make sure I get every nook and cranny, and in film and in TV. You will have seen her in movies like King Richard, where she was an Academy Award nominee for Best Performance for a Supporting Actress in a supporting role, and for actress in a supporting role. You would have seen her in the Clark Sisters, and people. Let me tell y'all, people don't talk about this enough. But for those of us who come from like a Kojic background, seeing you portray Maddie Moss Clark, I cannot unsee you when I see Maddie Moss Clark. That's that. She's played y'all in The Help, If Beale Street Could Talk, Ray, Undercover Brother, in TV series like HBO's Lovecraft Country, where she took us through an Afro-futurist, Afro-surrealist, just mesmerizing performance. The Mentalist, Quantico. She's received 63 award nominations and a winner of 31 of those awards to date. And she's here to talk about the newest film that she's in, Origin, which was directed by Ava DuVernay. She plays the role of journalist Isabel Wilkinson. As you all know, Wilkinson is the author of Caste, Origins of Our Discontent. And Aunjanue's portrayal in Origin, I went into the film thinking, all right, I'm a writer, I'm an author. What is this going to be about? What type of film will we see that is really trying to explore a Black woman writer's journey through bringing us to new understandings about domination, about power, about marginalization through the framework of caste, versus class and race? And then how are we going to do this in such a way that we going to want to sit here for 2 hours? And when I tell you that I was so mesmerized by your performance, by the deeply textured and nuanced ways that you brought Wilkinson's life to screen, it was one of the best movies that I saw in this season. It is one that deserves all of the acclaim and all of the conversation. And I just want to pause to give you your dap. It was wonderfully done. But how did the film come to you? Like, where were you where you got the script? What were you thinking when you got it? What made you say yes?
Well, all those things that you just, all the things that you just said, that, I'm a big book nerd, and I had not read Caste, the book, but I had read Warmth of Other Suns, and had seen interviews that Miss Wilkerson did about Caste. So I was intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
She's fascinating. You read her. She's just a brilliant, brilliant writer. She's a writer's writer, right? So just the idea, the notion of being a part of something like this that is going to be directed by Ava I wanted to be in it. I don't know how it sounds, really, like I just want to be in it. And so I heard that I heard that she had got the rights, and then I heard last fall, oh God, it was just last fall, that she was about to start casting. And I was like, I want to be somebody that she thinks about. So I did what I could to kind of convince her to, look my way. And so my sister and we looked at a picture, and I told my sister, I said, I think I could look like her. What you
Wow.
think? And she said, yeah, we could, yeah. So it became my little family project, I got a wig from the beauty supply place, and my sister ordered some pearls from Amazon. I got that, iconic signature lipstick that Ms. Wilkerson wears, that burgundy lip, and I got the burgundy chic dress that she wears so often. And we went into my sister's living room in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, took a picture and sent it off to the casting director. And the casting director sent it to Ava. And then Ava started talking to me a little bit.
You better look. If anybody's watching this and you're trying to get a role, take notes. Embody the character before you even get the role. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
But what you just said is like, I think is so important, because the thing that I love about your work, I am enthralled by your work, is you truly, truly embody. You sort of empathize, and by empathize I mean you really lean into the world, like the life world of the characters that you portray.
Mm-hmm.
How was this different this time around, especially considering that Miss Wilkinson is here, right, among us? Like, this is a character that you're portraying that is not a representation or the likeness of someone who is now an ancestor. What was that like in terms of preparing for this role?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a little pressure, it is, honestly, because I have so much respect. I have so much respect for her. You have to have respect for all the characters that you play, but there's a respect you have for the character in order to play them, and then there's a respect you have for the person. The person and the character are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a tremendous amount of respect for the person. So that is a little pressure, because I wanted to honor her, and I wanted to honor the experience of a Black woman writer. I wanted to honor the experience of Black woman genius,
Yeah.
which we don't know how to do
Yeah.
on screen, particularly in America. We don't know how to do it. That was one of my goals with playing Maddie Moss,
Mhm.
Dr. Maddie. Dr.
Mhm.
Maddie was a genius, you know,
Yes.
and my intention was to occupy that space of Black woman genius, you
Mm.
know.
Mm.
So yeah, it was a different intention, but so there was that. But then I had to go to work every
Yeah.
day, so I had to put the person outside and do the character, and what what that entailed for me was doing character work. Miss Wilkerson, that she's very refined, she's very intentional with her words, um, and I had to kind of sculpt my
Mm.
emotions, because I'm not any of that at all. As you can see, you know, I am so much more uh, permissive with my passion.
Sure. I love
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
love it. Two things you said that I want to remark on. The first is the comment that I made, that I said to Ava after watching the film the first time, was how grateful I was that she wanted to direct a film about a Black woman author. And that may sound like that may sound nonsensical to a lot of people listening to this, but I've never watched a film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, documentaries, yes, but a
Mm-hmm.
feature film
Mm-hmm.
where we actually
Mm-hmm.
felt like the life world of a Black woman writer who is alive and not dead, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
was worthy enough to be portrayed, was so rich to me. So
Mm-hmm.
rich. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, we're talking about, the origins of Caste as a story, and also like Miss Wilkinson's becoming of a new person as she's writing that. But I'm really like, can we talk about the fact that we don't get to see feature films about Black women, let alone especially if they're not dead,
Mm-hmm.
who's a Black woman writer? So that I want to lift up. But I've also been, as I think about your work, this quote from Bell Hooks keeps coming to mind: "The function of art is to do more than tell it like it is to imagine what's possible."
Sure.
So when you said you were thinking about and toiling with the reality that here is like somebody that you're representing who is still alive, and you said I had to go to work, you really did lean into what is possible, the imagination, which is what an artist is supposed to do, and you did that richly. But did this work also shape your own thoughts, your thoughts about race, about class, about the ways you even think about racism after
Mm-hmm.
having done this work? Did you come out of it going, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. I did. I did. I mean, and I think that's what is so, listen, that's what Black folks do. But in this case, this woman, the boldness of this woman saying, yeah, all this y'all been doing for hundreds of years. Yeah, you using the wrong language. You're using the wrong language.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, for me, that is what Black women do. That is what Alice Walker did with feminism. She said, this
Mm-hmm.
ain't enough. We need a new language,
Yeah.
right? And this is what Isabel Wilkerson is saying. This ain't enough.
Mm-hmm.
This language is lazy and it's insufficient. We need something else.
Yes.
And what she has done is say, okay, how the Indians have operated in their social structures for generations and centuries applies here,
Mm.
applies to Nazi Germany. And seeing those connections is empowering. And I think, I look at it for what it does to folks who are in the lower caste,
Mm.
right? Because the more connections that we can make, the more linkage we do, the more powerful we are against that higher caste who operates, in violence, in suppression and oppression,
Mm-hmm.
all day, every day. It gives us power to push back in a
Yep.
radical, real new way.
Yes. Um, what was it like working with Ava on this project? Were you stretched in new ways, in different ways? Was she stretched in new ways, in different ways?
Well, I hope we stretch each other. I can't even say it right. I hope we stretch each other. because I love what I loved about it was, there are things about Ms. Wilkerson's argument that I don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I had to have that kind of hashing out with Ava about that, because I had to say that. I had to say those
Yeah.
words. I had to say those words and be believable saying those words, even if I don't necessarily agree with them.
Mm-hmm.
So finding that space of where I don't enter, and having that conversation with her about, listen, this doesn't feel right to me. This is not comfortable to me because this is not my
Yeah.
experience. So we would have those conversations, and Ava is a brain. She's a brain. So those conversations were robust, and I think that we were able to arrive at something, hopefully that folks can feel. But
Yes.
that came out of us, hashing
Yeah.
it out. The other thing I will say about Ava is two things. Is Ava is a visual storyteller. She's a visual storyteller. And those are my favorite directors.
Mm.
They're my favorite directors. Like, yes, something can be, you can say something, but how do you show it?
Yeah.
How do
It's also,
how
yeah.
do you mine the emotion from
Mm.
words, and that
Mm-hmm.
is what she does so brilliantly. The other thing I will say is that Ava is a director that wants you to, as an actor, to feel in real time what you are portraying in the
Yes.
moment. So what I mean by that is, there's a scene in the movie where I am crossing an intersection in
Yep.
India, and it looks
Yes.
perilous because it is.
I yeah, I've been in India and I was like, wow, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I've been in Delhi trying to cross the street. I love
Listen, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Speaking of scenes that are memorable, is there like one or two lines from the script that you just stick with you? Either they haunt you
Mm.
or they're inspirational, or a scene that sticks with you all the time.
Well, a couple. There's a couple that I can't let go, because probably because I'm still frustrated with myself and how I did it and wish I had done it better, that kind of thing. But there's a scene where I'm having a conversation with a German woman, uh, and we're having, folks have this. I think it's a little reductive when you say this, like the oppression
Yes.
Olympics. I think that's a reductive term.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, she's talking about the experience of the Jewish experience in Germany during the Holocaust, and I say to her essentially that the African American experience, it deserves an equal attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to. I'm trying not to give it away. But anyway, that stays with me,
Yep.
because those were Ava's
Mm.
words. Those are not Ms. Wilkerson's words. It's Miss Wilkerson's, I feel, intention,
Yep.
but those were not her words. And I was so appreciative to be able to say that. And when people see it, y'all go see it January 19th, this Friday. I was so appreciative to be able to say that, to say
I
those words.
I remember that scene very well.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing that stays with me, and it didn't matter to me, but now that I've had conversations with people about it, there's a scene where a young boy is treated horribly at a swimming pool, and I
Ooh.
say something to him that's comforting,
Yep.
right? And one of my family members said to me that scene touched him so much. And the reason why it touched him so much is that because, as a Black man in this country, and being prey in this country, that as a child, as an adult, that no one says that to him.
Yep.
No one says that to him. And when I said that, he felt it.
Mm.
And it was a kind of assurance for him. So I didn't understand that at the time, but now I do. Yeah.
That the scene that you're describing, which you all will see when you go see the film on the
Yeah. On
19th.
the 19th.
Um, oh my gosh, I was gripped, and really like in the most horrific way, of the very mundane and non-spectacular ways that violence has been has come upon Black people in this country and elsewhere. But I won't say too much about it. Y'all need to go see it. Just a few more like questions, really, because I really want. Ava's a visual storytelling director. I think that the film itself will do all the speaking. This is an opportunity to give people a chance to see, I believe, one of the most critical elements that makes the film exactly what it is. There could have been no other person playing that role but you. And honestly, I'm telling you, like,
I don't know
no,
about
I'm
that.
serious. Let me
I
get
don't
low.
know about that.
Let me say this, and the way that you did it and what you brought to it. And I honestly just want to just give you that dap, and it's marvelous. Your performance is marvelous. But look, speaking of the film coming out on the 19th, I was so moved by you. You were recently at a theater in LA.
Yeah, I was there.
Max with the mask on, indiscreet, just passing out postcards for the film. Now, mind y'all, like, and the first thing I thought about was like, okay, there's two ways you can think about this. You know, there's the sort of the argument where, well, you should not, as at your caliber, have to be outside, right? Like passing out postcards for a film. I don't know if that's the right approach, the right sort of take. My take was that's what a real ass artist will do. A real artist who really loves the work is going to be out where the people are, building a bridge between a work that they know is worthy of being seen and one that can actually have an impact on the people that see it, and will leave the press junket, the red carpet, the fancy events, and be among the people so that they can get access to it. How moving was that for me to see? And I just want to tell you that. But say more about why you were so compelled to meet the people where they are, and also something to be said about the machine that works behind, the sort of presentation marketing, award presentations of these things, and how that can impact upon who gets to see it or not. But what moved you to just go out into the world and meet the people rather than waiting for the people to meet you?
Thank you for that. Thank you for that question, because it gives me a chance to say that, you know, real talk, origin has been ignored. It's just been ignored. You know, could be so many reasons for that. But the reality is that it has been ignored. It has been ignored by this machine that you've mentioned, and I that is incredibly frustrating to me, because I know why Ms. Wilkerson wrote this. I don't know why she wrote this book, but all her words, she was speaking for me. Even when I disagree with her, she was speaking for me. She's speaking for us. And Ava, in this unadaptable book that she adapted in her way, she is speaking for us. Speaking for us, the people. And when you see it, you'll know what I mean. Please go read the book. And so I became, in my little way, a part of that mission to speak to the people, to say to us, arm us with what we need in this world that wants that's knowingly doing things to destroy itself constantly, to arm us with this language that we need in order to survive it. So that's why the film is so important to me. So I don't have no pride. I have no pride. I want folks to know about this film. We are being ignored by this Hollywood machine that is propping up things in place of us. And so the only thing that I can do is go out in these streets and tell people to come see it. That's what I have. That's what I have in my power. And so that's why I'm going to do it. The other thing I'll say is this. People get into this groove of things about being whatever, number one on the call sheet, whatever it is that makes you feel somebody, like you somebody or whatever. For me, that my this position that I am in it's service, man. I see it as service.
Yes.
I don't see being the person who's the lead of something. I don't see it as something where the machine of that is something is coming into me. I see it as this is my responsibility to give out. I'm not waiting on somebody to wait on me, to serve me. It's the other way around.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm gonna be out on the streets passing out them flyers.
Wow.
And if I have time, you're gonna see me out there again,
I'll go
doing
with you. I'll
that.
go with you.
Listen, thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
Listen, y'all. If you're tuning into this, our sister can go out and pass out flyers, but we can also meet. We can make it so that she doesn't have to do that. Um, so if you're watching this, see Origin on the 19th. Take somebody with you. Take your mamas, papas, aunties, uncles, cousins, your neighbors, the kids in the neighborhood, and have conversations about it because you will be compelled to. I'll give you the last word. What do you hope that people get from this film, and what is your call to them?
Yeah, I want y'all to go see it January 19th.
Let's repeat
Um,
that. January
January
19th in
19th
theaters.
in
We
theaters.
want you to
Yeah,
go see it.
we want you to go see it. But it's what she said, Darnell. And while I have a second, let me just say to you that I appreciate you and what you have done for someone like me who is a queer woman and looks for somebody like me out in the world looking all fly, you know what I mean, looking fly while doing it, I just want to say thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, honestly. So yeah, it's what you said. Go, take a date, whatever whatever you want to do, but talk about
Yes.
it. Talk about it, because you're right. It is that kind of experience that makes you want to come out of it and have a talk with somebody.
Yes. Oh, I celebrate you. I really
Me too.
do. And y'all, thank you for tuning in. The goal really, we want to hear from and learn from this iconic artist that's on the call with us, but we also want to support the work and we want to support the film and more films like it. So October 19th, Origin is in
January
theaters. January,
19th.
what am October
What
9th?
happened in
I don't know. I
October?
don't prophesize something, Maddie.
Come on. I receive it.
January 19th, y'all. The film is in theaters. Go see it. We're gonna support.
Thank you,
Much
Darnell. Thank you so
love.
much.
You know.
Have a good rest of your
Bye,
day.
y'all.
Bye.